and my friend still to this day, oh, okay, it was just telling me that the freaking video. Okay, so the point being is that still to this day, me and my friend are have had this one, we like, no matter who we've talked about, like certain things, and I'm like, blah blah blah, this and that, and they're like, we usually always have been able to figure out the person we're talking about, even if it's like they weren't there for the story, or I wasn't there for that story. You know what I'm saying? It's like we 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 can usually decipher if we're talking about the same person at that point without even understanding we're talking about the same person. So over the years of knowing this person that I talk to, it's like there's only one fucking story that we can't come to a fucking conclusion. Anytime that it ever came up in the past, we can't come to a fucking conclusion of. And when they send me this picture, they're like, oh yeah, this is so and so's sister. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, holy fucking shit. I'm like, on top of already saying holy shit, I'm saying, wow, that's possibly the fucking girl that we keep arguing about who's who. And I'm like, that's really interesting, because the one girl that we think is the other girl, in other words, the two girls that basically come to fucking mind, I don't know the fucking, I fucking don't even remember at this point, and I don't even care to fucking remember. But I do know what the girl kind of looked like. And I'm saying to my fucking self, that's really interesting, because the one person had gotten another person pregnant. And this was a big part of the talk over the time period, because back in the day, me and my friend, this lady, we got so fucking mad at one another, because it was like, well, it couldn't have been this person and blah blah blah. And I'm like, look, man, I don't know who the fuck person is. Why don't you come and fucking see the area? Because every time we talk about this, we ended up getting into a fucking argument, and we really didn't argue over stupid shit like that. But this was important because of the shit that was being said. So then me and her get into her van, and we drive to the location where I said, this is where this person told me this. And I'm like, where does your fucking friend? And she points in the other direction, and the girl that I was speaking to, she said she lived in the other direction. So it was the same fucking road from two different directions, right? So this is a whole big fucking thing. But it wasn't like we were fucking, it was like, well, then who fucking cares, But when she sends me the fucking picture, I'm saying to myself, wow. I'm like, that's really interesting. Now, the person that got the other person pregnant is why this is important, right? Because the little bastard fucking is the one that, when me and my friend were sitting in her house, and we were talking about just stupid shit, like, have you seen this person, or have you seen that person, blah blah blah. This is years ago. A name pops up, and it's like, well, it's like we both felt the same way. It's like, well, we don't really want to see these people fucking, mostly anybody, because it's always fucking something, right? And it's like, but then we bring up this person's name, and it's like, oh yeah, this person, and it's like, I met this person around this person, blah blah blah, and we started talking a little bit there. The point is that all of a sudden, 2 fucking days later, and they come back to the house, and they're like, you won't believe who I bumped into. And I'm like, who? Guess who? I'm like, you got, it's like, wow. So then it's like, well, that was that. It's like, and then the next day, oh, look at that. Who comes through this person? That's interesting, because that was over like 12, 13 years ago or so. Right as I found this rock, right as I went to the concert, right as fucking, I'm saying to myself, like, this shit, yet again, should be fucking over. All of this shit, and guess who fucking pops up again? the motherfucker that is the scummy fucker. Okay? See, he takes that shit as compliments, right? He's like that type, you know, like if I said a motherfucker, he's scummy enough to be like, oh, that's a compliment. No, he's a scummy fucker, right? So the scummy fucker pops up, and then all of a sudden, the person that's staying with my friend all of a sudden gets a job working at a place where the first time I met him, he was working at that place. That was around the time that I freaking uncovered the 3 cemeteries right next to each other, which is really, really fucking interesting because it's like, wow, like I need more fucking problems. I didn't discover it, I was shown it. And that's the whole fucking point. It's like enough with the bullshit. Like, enough with the fucking bullshit. Like, wow. And that's why I'm, interestingly enough, bringing up the fucking fact that the girl that's in my head right now, compared to the girl that I'm mentioning right now, with the other girl that we're trying to understand which one's which, right? The Rock. The people that look like Mr. fucking Sean Allen. The location where I seen Sean last, before Sean passed away. Which is so interesting that fucking Sean was at the freaking location where all those years ago, and I'm going back some 20-something fucking years ago, my cousin was supposedly raped. The picture that I was shown that looked like fucking Ari being fucking, in other words, and that it wasn't nothing like, there was no, that's what I'm saying, it was a fucking, that's the picture I posted. So the point being is that after all this shit is said and done, it's like, wow, man, the lookalikes and all of it, and it's just like, it's so fresh in my head right now, trying to pick through the fucking pieces and on top of all the other shit, and I'm just like, fuck this, man. You know, it's interesting that the last time I went down to see Sean Allen, he was at that house. And the thing that happened at that house 20-something years or so prior, and the people that I bumped into, and not being able to, wow, and all of this, it's all of this, man, because that's why I'm saying it's like, it's real interesting that if these two were some reason reaching out, that's why I seen them walk past, just like I used to see fucking Tentacion walk past all the time with another cousin of mine, supposedly, which is fine. But what's fucked up is that if I seen these two walk past and I said, and I made the fuck, and I was like, yo, that's why I'm saying it's like something doesn't sit right. It's like, I don't know why I'm trying to keep everyone safe when it seems like they'll slice each other's fucking throats. And it's just, I'm so tired of everybody's bullshit. Like, I really am. Like, and then there's Ari. And the fucking, the doucheball. Ari and the doucheball. Good job. Hey, I don't even give a shit, man. You know, fucking, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to fucking hear it. I loved Selena. Before Selena was Selena, I loved Selena. I loved every one of my friends that I ever met, including the fucking fucked up ones. It was everybody else. It was all the bullshit that all the fucking kids had to fucking deal with when it came to the fucking. And then there were, and that was heavily like a certain type of fucking people that were really, there was some kids that were just really, really fucked up in the heads. That's what I'm saying. It's like the shit that went down out here, all the things that I did good out here in this fucking piece of shit place. And the only things that ever came back to me were shit that supposedly my cousins were fucking out here doing. And those weren't good things. And I didn't know how much of that to fucking believe. This is what I'm talking about. And then it's like, oh, I can't talk to my family about any of this. I can't talk to nobody about this. I'm being fucking set up, man. On like such a fucking insane scale. Wow. 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 That's why I found it interesting, the person I bumped into, and I'm like, wow. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's like I want to say, like, that's what I'm saying. It's like you don't get it. It's just I can walk basically fucking a mile and a half or 2 miles before I have to turn around. Wow, man. All the shit that was pulled, and the people that know what the fuck was pulled. Wow, man. Fucking wow, man. Fucking wow, man. That's why I find it interesting that first off, I was there when the fucking person ripped the fucking piece off the fucking car and put it there. And that would mean for the past 20 something fucking years, that thing was there. And the minute I touched it a few weeks ago, all of a sudden, now that's not there. Wow. Wow. I find it interesting that right before I went down to Florida in 2019, before I got into the scuffle with fucking my brother, which led to the scuffle with fucking, Mr. Robert Lee Ashley. Wow, man. Wow, man. Wow, man. Fucking wow, man. It's like some of the people that I was locked up with down there were from up here at one point in time. Not to mention, wow, man. Wow, man. It's like, wow, man. It's really, it really is like, wow, man. Like, people don't fucking stop. Like, they don't stop. Like, it is that insane. Like, I'm like, wow. It's like, and then whoever the fuck is commenting on my videos, saying like, oh, you know where, you tell us where Kristin Smart's spot. Nigga, listen to me, okay? Paul Flores told me fucking what he did to that girl's body, okay? He told me location 1, which he then moved to location 2. You took 24 fucking years to fucking go dig up location 2. He told me possibly location 3. And then there's fucking location possibly fucking 4. Fuck yous. If you don't think I want to wring that fucking jerk-off's neck, you have no idea. Or maybe, because my fucking bones are so fucking brittle, I'll just fucking smash my arm on the fucking table, and while the fucking dangly part's hanging off, I'll stab him in the goddamn face with my fucking bones in my arm. Why, I'm waving goodbye to the motherfucker. I like my feet. Other than the fact that they are fucked up, I love the shape of my foot. I was about to cough and trying to tell her. Holy shit. Oh, wow, that's that. Yeah, so there's a lot going on in my mind, more so than Kristin Smart or fucking Paul Flores, even though that's going on. And then, like I said, the flash memories, which are so interestingly fucking combined with me bumping into this person and they're not even from here. And it's like, oh, where are you from? It's like, wait a minute. You mean like... And it's like, wow, it's like so interesting. And it's like, wow, that's so fucking interesting. And then at the same fucking time, it's like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck, man? You know? I'm living in a fucking house where they kidnapped me when I was 4 years old, and my little nephew, cousin Matthew, was 3 years old. So this whole fucking thing is just such fucking wow. Just fucking wow. That's why I find it funny. I said, wow, that's not there no more. I'm like, that's been there for 20 fucking years. All I did was move it slightly. The minute I touched it, definitely freaking, it flashed through my mind. I'm like, holy shit, I was here for this. And fucking a few weeks later, now all of a sudden, after 20 fucking years of that thing sitting there, all of a sudden, it's gone. I'm like, wow. Wow. Fucking wow, man. Fucking wow, man. $20 fucking years of that thing. So obviously somebody is definitely following me around. There's no doubt in my fucking mind. There's no fucking doubt. That thing was there for fucking 20 fucking years. In the same fucking spot for 20 fucking years. I moved that thing less than fucking a half a foot. I moved that fucking thing less than a half a foot, bro. And then all of a sudden it's gone after 20 fucking years. Bullshit. Bullshit. Bull fucking shit. So there obviously is somebody fucking literally fucking wow, man. And that's why it's like, it's really funny that out here, any of the good things that I did out here, I never got fucking credit for. Never got paid for. Got the only thing that I got fucking credit for is the people that were fucking pissed about the good things I did out here. But as far as all the bad shit out here that was being done, that my name was being brought up, and I'm saying to myself, I wasn't even fucking out there, man. I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about, and this and that, and blah blah blah. And my nephew's name was being fucking brought up out here. It's really fucking funny that all that shit was being put on my fucking plate. That's why I find it interesting, too, that fucking Rayvon Matthews passed away right after bringing up the fucking jacket that I lost in 5th grade at my friend Danny's house that used to live across the fucking street. Wow. In another neighborhood? In another town? Well, he moved out here. I go to visit him. I lose the fucking bullshit. Hey, Ray, where'd you find the jacket? And you don't want to know. Well, who has the jacket? We do. Well, who's we? Don't worry. And then Ray dies. And Ray dies, and the last other thing that he brought up to me was the Tupac thing. When I realized 6 hours after I walked in from talking to him that's what fucking Ray was, he found the jacket? What the fuck? The things that fucking I remember from that, plus the fact that he was bringing up I'm like, Ray was working on the fucking Tupac thing. And then I'm like, I'm so fucking pissed off, I don't go to even try to call him for a few weeks. About maybe 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, I tried to ring him once, didn't even ring him twice. Then fucking, and it wasn't even because I was pissed at him. And then, and to think that he wasn't even fucking pissed at me that day. And then I tried to call him again, no answer. And then the next time I tried to call fucking Ray, Mac Miller passed away, fucking, then all of a sudden, the day that I go to call Ray, I pick up the phone, his wife picks up the phone, and she tells me that Ray's dead. That he went back to fucking drinking, that he went to go cross a fucking road and got smacked by a fucking car. Wow. Interesting, because I got that same phone call 6 years prior. And, wow. That's what sent me to my other friend's house to be like, is so-and-so dead? Did our friend pass away? And as far as the fucking rock, that's why it's funny with this fucking rock. Because I find it's not even a rock. It's a fucking insane diamond. Wow. Because all those years ago, when my two little fucking jerk-off, knuckle-fucker, piece of shit fucking cousins were throwing the fucking rocks, which I was getting in trouble for anyway, so that I went and threw the fucking rocks over the fucking fence. The man who was picking up the fucking rocks I met one time, and that motherfucker resembled fucking all the other motherfuckers in so many of these fucking stories that who the fuck knows if they're the same fucking person. But I do know that fucking Sean Allen, when I went down to go see Sean Allen was at the fucking house where my cousin was supposedly raped. And the picture that I was shown on the way back, I didn't even believe. And then my father gets the fucking phone call. And that's when fucking, that's why I'm saying. And what's interesting is that my other cousin, the one who went on to fucking become a porn star, right? That's why I'm saying it's like there's a lot of shit in my fucking head because I have pictures. That's why I'm not getting rid of anything right now. I'm not fucking doing this. And they're not porn. Well, some fucking the fucking point is that she looked a whole lot like fucking Ari. That's why it's real fucking interesting that fucking when I showed my sister my aunt. When I showed my aunt, which is my sister because of the way that I was raised by my grandmother, I said, "Is this your daughter? Is this my little niece that I haven't seen in forever?" She goes, "No." I said, "Wow. And I'm not even mad at that girl either, the porn star. I'm not mad at her either. Because I know the fucking crap that now I could see what the fuck was being pulled on her. It's just really interesting to me that my friend sends me this picture. And when I took one look at this fucking guy that supposedly committed suicide, I said, holy fucking crap, that looks so much like one of the people who I would consider to be the fucking people that were fucking considering themselves Loki. And oh, trust me, there was real magic involved in some of these fucking stories, and others, maybe it was just fake bullshit. But trust me, in without leaving Long Island, within a matter of fucking seconds, I'm driving down a road with fucking palm trees, and I'm not on drugs. I mean, Jesus Christ, I was looking for fucking, I was like, where the fuck are the palm trees on Long Island? This was an improvement. For 3 fucking weeks, I looked for fucking palm trees. I drove around looking for palm trees. I'm like, they were fucking here. They were fucking here. Where the fuck are they now? Yo, man, I'm so fucking tired of the bullshit. I'm so tired of the bullshit. I really, really fucking am tired of the bullshit. And Anthony Miller is saying that fucking his people were gonna throw me in a mental hospital and all this other shit. That freckled, fat piece of pork. All I picture is a fucking cheeseburger with bacon. Wow. When I said that the night that freaking this happened, the person walked around the wall, and the next thing I know, the person that came out on the other side was a different person. Like, it was only a thin fucking wall, man. It was a little tiny divider piece, bro. There was 2 ways in and 2 ways out. There was no other fucking way out at the time, fucking from the other side. That's what I'm saying. There's no way there's no way within, like, he stepped behind the fucking divider. He stepped behind the fucking divider. Stepped behind the divider. I come right after him on the other side, and there's a different person standing right fucking there. I look on the other side. I look back on the other side. Look this way. It's a different fucking person. Bullshit. And when I describe the fucking 4 different fucking people or so, that's the thing. It's like, wow, this person looked like this. This person looked like this. This person looked like this. I mean, it's like, who the fuck was I really dealing with? So it's really interesting which happened first. Did my cousin get fucking raped first? Or did this fucking guy commit suicide first? Don't know. The rocks that my cousins were throwing over the fucking park fence that weren't rocks. That's why it's interesting. I come across this, and this is literally pretty much right before I go down to go visit my mother in 2019. Where then I bump into Pop Smoke, which I've met twice up here in Long Island. Interesting locations. The church and where I was fucking parked, where I was going to work. Close to where I was going to work. Which is so interesting that it's in between fucking headquarters A and headquarters B. Wow, man. Back then. So I bump into Pop Smoke in 2019. Again, I'm saying, where the fuck do I know this kid from? I know this kid. And I'm like, but I'm being real polite, but I am fucking exhausted. And then the next day, there's my brother starting his bullshit. Fucking, then Robert Lee Ashley pops into the picture. Another motherfucker that I met all those years ago when I was guess with who? Oh, that's right, fucking Loki. Or the kid who was claiming to be Loki. Which could do some fucking tricks like the other fucking people could. Right? You know, it's just like, wow, man, wow. Because, like, that's why this is so interesting to me right this second. Because I'm saying to myself, when I seen the picture of this person, I said, wow, if this person committed suicide, when did they commit suicide? Because did it happen before or did it happen after my cousin was supposedly raped? That's where it gets interesting. Other than that, it's the freaking other things where it's involving a man that I'm saying it's like, dude, wow, man. It's like, that's why I'm saying it's like, when Sean Allen and me spoke the very last time, I was fucking pissed off because I had already come back from his house where he was sick for the 2 days, 2.5, 3 days that I was there. He was sick for like 2+ days. He was sick the whole fucking time. He never got out of bed. I was just sitting on his couch like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? Is he alright? I don't know, but fucking... And the point fucking being is that freaking, it's like putting 2 and 2 together and all this other shit. And then... Wow. That's why I find it real fucking interesting that I didn't even want to bring it up to him until I was on the bus, back at the fucking place where I was. But... And I'm thinking, should I even bring up that this is the fucking place? Yo, man. And the point being is that a few days of letting it go through my head, all of a sudden my house gets shot at on the 4th of July, which is so interesting that today, tomorrow, in 40 fucking 5 minutes, it's 4th of July. My house was shot at a few years ago on the 4th of July, right after I went down to go see Sean Allen for what would have been the last time I seen Sean Allen. And I find it fucking extremely interesting that trying to get him on the phone to tell him that my house was shot at, and yet freaking couldn't get him on the phone, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, why haven't, and this is the interesting part too. He calls me, and he's talking, and I'm like, are you listening to what I'm saying? My house was shot at. I've been trying to call you for over a month. Same shit. That he didn't get the amount of calls that I was leaving him. And he starts to argue with me a little bit, and I start to argue with him, and I'm like, did you fucking consider that maybe they were fucking trying to kill you while I was at your fucking house? And by the way, your fucking house is the fucking house where I was at all these years ago when my fucking cousin was raped? Wow. Dude, that shut him up. And that made him start to start, and I went off, and I went off, and I said some things. He's like, don't say something you're gonna, and it hurts me to think, because I'm saying to myself, was this guy really trying to fucking, because I know what I seen with my own eyes, why I was there, what he was saying to the fucking person, that I didn't see more than the fucking backside of them as they were leaving around the wall. The very last time of me seeing him. And that's the whole fucking point. It's like, was he trying to get me fucking killed?